Hallelujah. Giving, hallelujah. Giving the highest praise. Hallelujah. Giving the highest praise. Hallelujah. Giving the highest praise. In the morning when I wake up, in the night when I wake up, I will lift up my voice to heaven and give you the highest praise. Hallelujah to my King. Hallelujah to my Father. Hallelujah to my Jesus. I bow before the throne. When I look at all the wonder and I see all the creation, the beauty of the universe, you never change. You never lie. You never change. You never change. Hallelujah to my Jesus. Hallelujah. 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 Giving, hallelujah. Giving the highest praise. Hallelujah. Giving the highest praise. Hallelujah. Giving the highest praise.
Come let's pray, Jehovah. Come let's worship Jehovah. He deserves the praise. Come let's praise Him. He deserves everything. Oh, the worshiping. Oh, He gave me life. I will praise His name. I'm here to praise my God, oh, because He gave me life. Come celebrate, come jubilate, come and worship Him. He deserves the praise. Hallelujah, giving the higher praise. Hallelujah, giving the higher praise.
Hallelujah, giving the higher praise. Hallelujah.
Good evening, folks. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. As usual, I'm Alphonso Zean Soe. We want to welcome you to this evening broadcast. It's better late than never. It's 8:18 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to right here from the New England Bureau of the Liberia Public Radio.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Yeah, papa, t'es son bébé gâté. Assez le bien-aimé de Petit Amoura. Maman Miracle, à CEO de Belgique. Esther Blue, à Paris. À CEO maman. Natacha Zambo, au Canada. Pourquoi yo maman? Sono bagnon boué. Bagnon boué, mawo. Y'a mago bagnon boué, mawe. Roi de bagnon boué, ni oye.
All right, good evening, folks. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for sharing your evening with us. I'm Alphonso Zean Soe of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv been behind this mic for a couple of days now. So the Liberal was acting like a king of the jungle all over the place, and I think that he's in control. Let's see if he will show face here tonight. You know, when the lion is away, that's where these little chicks all over the place to do what they can do. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners. I came on very late, but we'll do the best we can to spend a little time here with us this evening. It is important that we are here because you count on us. We also count on to you to bring you news, information happening not just before or on our feed, but also outside our own public domain. Because life or situations is kind of contingent upon one another. Whatever happens in the USA or any part of the world does have an effect on Liberia. So we're always in the business to keep the news proportionate, fair, balanced, objective, and let you to discuss the issues. So we are not a group that tell ourselves to what is only happening here. What did I bring this guy on here? What's going on? This guy here, he's always, you want to be like a Russian now, you start quickly jumping into my system. So that's what we do to want to welcome our viewer. Thank you for sharing your evening with us. Let's give you a little bit of Spain as usual. Major war leaders, not major war leader, but war leaders are meeting right here at the United Nations headquarters. What's national issues discuss? And it's a very United Nations conference is a very important one. You use this conference to also cement your own government relationship with donors, international organizations. But I'm wondering up to this time, maybe the Liberal are being out of this microphone here, and the Liberal was all over the place. Probably he would give me an idea what at my president or our president, Dr. George Weah, is here. But we are hearing on the flip side that the Minister for Planning Development, Presidential Affairs, I'm not sure whether they're proxying the affairs of the president. What is the situation? But we are also hearing that they are in conversations with other high government lawmakers here. Is that a good strategic move? And who are those they are in conversation with? Well, tensions is mounting between US and France. Remember the submarine issue? But according to Al Jazeera, the latest information, President Macron of France has not agreed to meet with his US counterpart, Joe Biden, right here in the USA. That's how it looks like. Let's get the ball rolling right here. We want to welcome Mr. Tai Chit, Agnes Samukamol Bata, this our prime time follower here on the Liberia Public Radio. Many others, Madam Jali, Neton, and the rest of the folks. Let me go to Studio B in Saxton, Sacramento, where the only liberal on this network, his view is always far from reality. But that's who he is. And we agree we hire him. So we have to deal with it. He's refusing to get retired, but he's here. Let me bring in the liberal progressive from Saxton, Sacramento. Hopefully the man from the far right will also join us here. Where is the professor? Is he with his seditions counterpart currently visiting the USA? The liberal have that news development. Let me bring in the liberal progressive Samson Bloku Brown Toll from Saxton, Sacramento. The liberal, good evening.
Mr. Soe, good evening and welcome. Thank you very much for having us here tonight again. Let's hopefully we'll have some spirited conversation here where our audience will truly enjoy us. But I'm not here for any kinds of
Enjoy me, not you. They don't enjoy.
Mr. Soe. We're not here.
Hold
You're
on
just
one
starting.
second. You always see the reaction when we're on this network here.
No, Mr. Soe, and when I say enjoy us, not why would it just be you? You see, that's what you guys do. You're Liberian. You like to take ownership of something, and everything should be about you. This is what we have right now. The fiasco of the people coming in here to represent Liberia. Fiasco that they're already portraying out here because they want it to be about them.
Oh, is that how you're going to start this talking point tonight?
I'm just telling you as it is. I'm just giving it to you. I mean, I'm just saying, but when you say about, it's not about you. It's about our country.
The chaos being created with your party. Who is in charge? Who is not in charge? I have monitored you since I've been away. You have never had the courage to talk about that. But you're talking about people who are here to meet people. Is that a fair deal?
Yeah. I mean, I've already told you, Liberty Party, we're having some little conversation. It's nothing big. We can settle it. And this is what we do the best. Liberty Party, we like to, when these kinds of time comes about, Mr. Soe, we settle then among ourselves. We're not here asking for your opinion and going around seeking opinion from other Liberians. This is, if you join Liberty Party, you will enjoy us because we are there to settle issues.
If you join what?
Are you going to join us?
No, I just want to hear what you're saying. If you join
Liberty Party, your life and your freedom is definitely for sure.
With the war ongoing, Nyambli Kanga,
Mr. Soe, there is no war. There is no war in Liberty Party.
Political chaos is unfolding.
No, that's not true, Mr. Soe. Liberty Party is on course. Liberty Party is the best party in Liberia, intellectually.
Yes, they are able to produce a candidate after your former political leader, may his soul rest in peace.
We have our political leader. What are you talking about? We have our political leader.
Your standard bearer, the former the list standard bearer.
Well, we're not up there yet because we believe in the rule of law. We have a collaborating political party, and every one of those political parties.
Honor my fault, collaborate.
Yeah, that's why you believe. But wait till wait till we suck you and the CDC 2023.
What I'm doing now, I'm taking a green party to Liberia, and I think a lot of people will come on board because
you know what we need. We know what the Liberian people need to do now. Those of you that are running over there with these political party here and there, they should be asking you for a long form birth certificate because many of you might not even be Liberians anyway.
Whoa. You profess not to be like a conservative, but you are playing the Trump card now. You want to enjoy my website. You want to question my nationality as a Liberian?
If you're going to go over there to be to carry a political party like many of the other people, we need to find out where you went.
Bronskin ever show his birth certificate to the Liberian people, and why may you think
Bronskin is a Bassa man? He need to show no birth certificate.
So who am I?
We don't know. We don't know. You're carrying a political party, but I said from now on, Liberians should ask those who running over there with political party all over this place. We should ask them for their long form birth certificate. That's that is.
Okay, we're gonna get a conference. I'm not even gonna take what you say in the granted because first of all, you do not even have a voting right in Liberia. You are a partisan in the USA. In fact, in Sacramento, you are confined. There's a limitation to your political status. So nobody cares. Nobody listens to you, and that's exactly what I said. They're here to listen to me. You are just a participant. I don't think because your views are always far from the truth.
Those are the liberal view, Mr. Soe. The one I'm not here. I'm not here to
fighting among yourself right now. Capitol Hill, Pelosi.
We're in control. We got a White House. We got a Senate. We got a House of Representatives. Okay. The liberals are in control.
All right, let's get the talking point going. Good evening, the Liberal Progressive. Welcome. This is Liberal Public Radio. And our many viewers and listeners, wherever you are, I thank you for sharing your evening with us. Let us ongoing. The United Nations General Assembly Conference is on the way. Let me ask you, I've been away for a little bit here now. Is Dr. Weah, is the president attending the conference?
Excuse me?
Is our president attending the conference? Or
I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if if he's going to be attending the conference or not. It's possible. But what I do know is that one of the interesting things in the past few days that I've been covering what is happening, especially with the delegation from Liberia. What I do know is that I hope that they will join us sometimes, because I truly believe their trip is a fiasco. To be honest, it's not about what they're going to get out of here, but the mere fact that they will come here, only the three of them will come here with no woman representative among them. And we have population like 50% of our sisters are not represented in this government as well. And then they're going to come over here and come into the liberal state. Not only that, then they go and talk to a conservative from Texas. These people that are running migrant over with horses all over the place. These are the people the CDC government going to talk to. Then I know CDC is a conservative government. That's fine. We will deal with them. We will deal with a conservative CDC in Liberia.
How can you? What is the basis of your argument? They came with delegation.
It's very simple.
Hold on, something to hold on, please. They came with a delegation that, in your view, is not proportional because there's no female on the delegation. So you have drawn a rare land like Benjamin Netanyahu at the United Nations because they are here at the United Nations. So your argument now is it is a fiasco, correct? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. And I hope the honorable men will try to find reason to join us, because I believe people like the honorable mayor himself, if we have the opportunity to talk to us, he will understand my point.
What is your neutrality now? Because
neutrality where? Neutral in what? You see the car going back and forth, the car going from in gear. Ain't no neutral here, no end on this gearbox. This is out of, I'm not even going back. This is just put in drive and we're going, because we're taking the executive march in 2023. Ain't no neutral here.
Welcome, Mr. Tarabazawa. Oh man, this guy. The guy saying, I say no bad bush for a child. Just how this guy looks like, but if I'm not interacting with him too, then I feel sick. So that's the bizarre thing about him. Samson Toe is a pain in the neck. But if I don't talk to him, it's like I'm dying. But when he appears again, though, it's a thorn in the flesh. Let's see these images here coming from Liberia while the delegation is here, even though it's usual. These things are going to be happening here. But I'm concerned the presence of the delegations and people they are talking with. Lindsey Graham, like saying Lindsey from where? South Carolina, correct?
Yeah, they're calling the Little G. Yeah,
so this guy, I'm not sure. When Joe Biden was in the Senate, they were good friends. But right now, everything they are all taking the Trump card, still with this big lie, still believe that the election was stolen, and they're still playing the Trump card. But let's see what happens across the bridge today. It's every other date. That's the beauty of the country. Some sort of bizarre thing has to go on. Let's see here. These are the group calling themselves
in demand of taking 3 passengers because of the government regulation for neutral of transport. So this morning they have placed a roadblock to Zimbabwe where they will not allow any vehicle to pass in order for them to get a demand for the Liberian government. And the Liberian National Police have come to disperse them this morning, and some individuals have been arrested by the Liberian National Police. And because of their act this morning, they have been arrested by the Liberian National Police, and they will be detained for further custody. So we will be talking to the CEO from Zone 6, which is Broadville. He will give us detail why it's unfolding this morning. These are some people who are doing demonstration on demand of taking 3 passengers in the keke without asking the government for regulation. So we are this morning at Zimbabwe Bridge, where they had gathered series of keke that were in the demonstration this morning. But the Liberian National Police is taking full control of the case this morning, where they have been doing excellent work this morning. They have put team under control this morning, and the trouble is moving freely this morning. We are here to ask them a few questions.
Okay, the liberator.
Yes, yes, I am, Mr. So.
Okay, so that was the situation here. I believe there were some laws in place here. But wait a minute, is that how Liberia? Is that how we too we can address situations? If government, with the constitute put a law down, you say, okay, well, I don't care, I don't give a heck what is going on. We've got to do our own way. Block traffic, inconvenience other workers, students, other ordinary people that have their businesses to do. We know it's a high economic times, but this sort of pattern, this sort of way of us doing things in Liberia, is that helpful to the process? Or when will we see this coming to an end? And evident?
Mr. So, to be honest with you, in as much as I disagree with CDC and this ruling governing body, I think we Liberians ourselves are the problems for our country. To be honest with you, if you disagree with any functioning part of the government, you don't have to take in the street. You don't have to take into the street to try to disrupt the free traffic flow of free flow of people's lives who are going on their own normal business. You cannot do these kinds of stuff and expect people to flock into your country and bring investor in. So sometimes we sit here, we say we blame the government here and there. But even if the government is trying to talk to investors, our people behavior, our people way of doing things, it caused the investor to say, no, I'm not even going to be part of it. Because why were you, even if you have disagreement with the government, why will you not form yourself and try to have consultation with the government? Then you will see when I'm making these comments, people will start writing and say, why if the government is not listening? Well, if they have rules in Liberia, the government is not above the law. You have to find means. If it means for you to sue the government, you sue the government. Even if it means the government is not doing anything, but you will be on the book. And so these are kinds of things we need to do. And I also put the blame onto the government.
Facilitators, is it fair to say they are facilitators of these things, these actions?
Yes,
They don't
yes.
just fall from out of the blue sky.
No, the government.
What event before it comes to before you see it spilling out like this, there's it starts from somewhere until it gets to the boiling point.
I agree. The government is also responsible. But the point that I'm making is, even if the government is wrong in whatever situation,
no, that's not what I'm suggesting though. What I'm saying, before you see people get in the street at this, what we saw happening here from the images in Liberia, I'm quite sure it happens. It's a gradual process.
Yeah, but by the time they get to this point, Mr. So, I truly believe then the communication process are broken down. And this is where the government, because the government, for me, as the government, you are like the father of the house. You are pretty much in control of everything else. The way you beat the drum, that's how the people are going to dance it. So if the government comes out, for example, you as a government, you can't get tired to disseminate the information to the public. If you see something or people start, and these things don't happen overnight, people will start complaining. People will start complaining. You're supposed to have ears and eyes in the street as well. But this government, for some reason, will say, they want to take the tough line. And sometimes the tough line doesn't help. But then again, let me go back to my previous comments. And that is, we, the people ourselves, the Liberians ourselves, are the problems, I think. Because if you're going to have the mentality of trying to disrupt, trying to destroy, whatever it is that you're destroying, it's not hurting the government. Yeah, you might not have it. The government said, well, we'll try and put it back on there. So it takes time. And you must respect the properties of others. You must respect the rules in the country.
All right, yeah, respect the rules in the country. That's how it's supposed to be. I think people they have the right, but the process, the execution part, how they go about to do it, that's is problem. And so I'm not sure whether this is going to even come to an end. It doesn't matter which government is there. Seeing what is unfolding, we saw it was a gradual one we saw from Helen Johnson's time. This one it has reached the zenith, is at the highest peak. Every other time I don't know what the length of conversations, and those also in authority, their inability to quiet down, to cease, to rescue this. But overall, I've come to realize, and probably this is the only agreement that we're going to have. This is the only agreement that we're going to have is we believe in crisis. We always like to manage crisis instead of preventing the crisis. It's the behavior of Liberian. We always manage crisis, and I don't think it's a good strategy. It's not a workable strategy because at that point it's at an escalation, and there's no way that you can do it. Okay, let's talk here because I do have interest. I have not followed completely the detail, but I do know Minister Towe and other folks I never even had a chance. I believe he did appear on Jida Hard Talk. I've not had a chance to listen to that. Whether there was any message, uh, or whether any reason were provided why our president could not come to the United Nations, because the conference itself is a unique one. That's where you use this sort of, it's a 1 year event, right? And so you use the time to meet other donors, international partners, major world leaders, and also push the agenda of your country. So I'm wondering why the president, Tour and folks and the other rest, are they the best people to represent the interests of the government of Liberia?
Well, Mr. So, sadly to say, it seemed like Honorable Toy has picked up his antics again. But then again,
Are you
yeah,
speaking let provide the basics here. You are made a position known here. You were flog, you are opposition, which is okay. But let's put at the government of this sort of Liberianization policy and projecting that we want good things to happen for our country. Let's take a realistic approach here. I'm not going to tell you, I'm not going to put finger in your throat to say what you want to say, but I just want us to see if we can give you a fair analysis. These guys,
I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best. But the point here is this, Mr. So, the issue with Honorable Tour, to be honest with you, there are certain times Honorable Tour will appear and he will do things in the interest of the country, and there are certain times Honorable Tour will appear as though CDC is Liberia. I'll give you an example just for the snippets that I've watched on Jida Hard Talk. Honorable Tour is on that Jida Hard Talk talking about some of the good things the government is doing, and the government have plan, but they are not ready to review the plan until 2023, when they will tell the Liberian people what they're doing. And then I dare Honorable Tour to come on Liberian Public Radio, because here we will respect you, but you're not gonna have your own narratives. You're not gonna come out here and make things up as you go about. Samuel Toy is not the only educated person. Like, he must be highly educated. There's no question. Even I'm not an economist, but I can challenge Honorable Toy because I too have a discipline. I am from the engineering background, so I know a little bit about those things myself. So for him to sit on Jida Hard Talk and continue to just blah 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 without any kinds of pushback, without any kinds of tough questioning coming from, then they are not serious. You can't go on your social media that is friendly to you, to your comment and everything else. It is not about protecting you. It is not about protect. It is about being truthful. Because if you go on a platform that people will question you, genuinely question you, however, with respect, no disrespect to you. They will disagree with you. Question might come across as such, but there will always be respect for you. And then you're going to have to answer questions. You're going to have a conversation. But what Minister Tour did on Jida Hard Talk, for me, it was just like a one-way conversation, and it's ridiculous. Now look at they're coming here. Then I'm saying again, it's not because I am opposition. I consider myself opposition, but not that. It's not about that. You have Dr. Weir. He was in Ghana. I believe it was in Ghana, where the ECOWAS people, ECOWAS leaders met over there. And Dr. Weir is on record at really blowing a horn of democracy, to say we do not support, and I'm paraphrasing, we do not support cool and all these kinds of stuff. But we have to, as a people and as the leader, we have to examine why these coups are happening. There are people that will manipulate the constitution for their own benefit, and people don't like those kinds of stuff. So you have, on one hand, you have Dr. Weah talking, blowing the horn of democracy, and you have Samuel Twe, Honorable McGill, Honorable Kochi coming here in the United States with no ladies among them. Number one. And second, who do they meet with? They go and meet with conservative who believe Trump will come back to power. What can they do for you? What can they do for you? Nothing. So I think Minister Twe and Honorable McGill and Honorable Kochi will do us a good deal if they can come on like Brown Public Radio and try to explain themselves. They can't just leave it like that.
But fair to mention, I think this thing has been, both sides have engaged in that. That you can test. We have tried numerous of times to reach even people on the other side. But for the most part, when you talk to them, the initial aspect of the conversation is pretty fruitful. But by the time you drop the phone and appointment is set the next day or in the injury time, they will call you, well, we can't make it. So a politician does that. That's a normal tradition because they always want to have a free pass. So that's why you see here, there are certain folks who don't go to Fox News. There are certain people who don't go to CNN because it is not their base. And Jide Hartog, Prince Sherry, and other people, those are friendly news outlet more or less for GOL. So maybe other news outlet that they don't see or they find very critical, they always have that sort of a mindset. But I don't think it's a very good strategy. Even own it, and I have no reason for you to make up something here for he to say, if that's what he said, that they're going to wait for 2023 in the process of an active game ongoing before you would unveil or reveal what you're going to be doing. It doesn't make sense to me.
And this is why, Mr. So, this is why they're going to find it difficult come 2023 to make any kind of headway. Look, Mr. So, I'm sure, I'm being told by credible individual that this trip, the three of them made here, the trip was planned, and there were other Liberians, diaspora, sedition diaspora, that was supposed to be part of this planning section. And because perhaps they don't like the way or things that they were saying, they cut them off. So basically, by their coming here and not bringing one female among them, why were you, even if the vice president have issues with the president or with the government of America, Liberia, let them point that out. But why will you come here and you're not bringing the speaker, you're not bringing the president pro tem, you're not bringing the vice president, and the only people that are coming is Minister of Presidential Affairs, Minister of Finance, and the city mayor of Monrovia? What exactly are you trying to tell us?
That's a very critical point. And sometimes it's so difficult because I don't know. I don't know. The inner cycle of this government. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. I think that's a very good point here. You strike. And the inner cycle of this government, the way they do their things too, sometimes is kind of hair scratching. Because I mean, you have to the doyen of the cabinet, who happens to be the Minister of Foreign Affairs. These are major principal actors in the sitting government. A United Nations event is not something that just drop overnight. It's a long-term event. I don't know. So even like you said, the vice president. If the president cannot show off for whatever reason, I'm not sure what could be the legitimate reason. He has the responsibility to manage the country, but hey, all of the resources or things that we need to enhance the development growth of the country, it comes from this building right here in New York. Because when you come here, for example, you'll be privileged to meet people, donors, friendless governments. You'll be able to have a conversation with the people. But for them to just stay and send the same old people who are the face of the government, that itself, maybe the Minister of Foreign Affairs or the Vice President, she's a lady and her tone could be appealing to the people, but that did not happen.
Mr. Soe, these positions, I believe, and I could be wrong, but I believe these positions, in order for you to serve in these positions, you must have the credential to fit that. So for you to employ a foreign minister, that person must have had experience in diplomatic corridor. Okay. For you, then instead, you're coming here with a minister of presidential affairs. Are you coming and you telling me that you're coming to sell the presidential business? Is that what you're coming for? And the Minister of Finance.
Not a presidential affair. Let's be realistic here. Minister of Presidential Affair or Finance, okay, more or less deals with government spending. Could be. But for these people, the Minister of Presidential Affairs is the direct representations or the direct aid to the president. Fair deal. Let's give it that.
Well, I'm not disputing that. My point is, for right now, as the way things stand, Honorable Koji, Honorable Tue, Honorable McGill are the face of the Liberian government. There's no question asked. In the face of in the eyes of the international community, in the eyes of the diplomatic corps, these are the faces of these three people are the face of for me are the face of the Liberian government. Because if you have a minister of foreign affairs who's supposed to be ahead of this delegation, but yet still you're going to leave him behind.
Because he is a chief diplomat.
Exactly. You're going to leave him behind. That's why people are not paying attention to them.
So
and that's what
is it fair to also inject into this conversation? Because regarding this coming out, who is the Minister of Foreign Affairs, there were a lot of shenanigans came about him. He was from here, what happens, and all of that. Are they given to rise to those on the other side that
Mr. Soe, the Minister of Foreign Affairs is not the only educated diplomat in Liberia.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying.
No, I'm coming to that. If you feel that this man had some sort of baggage or whatever you want to call it, dismiss him and bring somebody else that will be able to do the job freely. This system, Liberia is not a banana republic. CDC themselves, they know that. They're governing people who respect the rules. So if you believe that this man, if he goes somewhere, he's not going to represent Liberia fairly, or his representation for the Liberian people might not go well with the international community, dismiss him, bring somebody else. But you cannot just keep him there and then send other people that also have different functioning. In the government itself has different functionality, functioning units. Let's put it that way. So each of these functioning units has their own responsibility. You can't have people. This is not Ivory Coast, where you have people pressing or functioning in different two, three capacity in the government. We have people who are educated. We have people who have trained themselves. I saw on Spoon this afternoon, or early, there was a young man. I've never seen him before. I've never heard him before. But this young man, he's also a professor at one of the local universities in Monterey. He spoke well, and it seemed from his explanation, it seemed like he has a wealth of knowledge. And you have Liberians here in the United States or in the diaspora who have also have that kinds of training. If you feel the foreign minister is not going to serve you, why keep him there? Why keep him there? Get somebody else. But because I believe now, and I'm going to go politics, because the citizen government is inept. They are unable to govern. And as a result, they cannot see their own hands in front of their faces. They can't see. They need glasses. As simple as that.
What is responsible for that? And, after the coup, the late Samuel Doe, after backup Matthews, because they realize your diplomatic surroundings, folks that are closer, that will be the face of the government. First, I'm not saying this to say that these guys are not trusted. That's not what I'm saying. But they must have that sort of a diplomatic recognition. That name recognition should be there. People should trust them. They should rely on them. They should see them as credible people, but even to do business. And that's how Samuel Doe brought Ambassador T. Honest Eastmont. He's a good, fine Liberian. He was serving as the Secretary General of the Mana River Union. but more or less the country needed him, and the call for his withdrawal, and he became the face of the PRC as the chief diplomat when he was topped by the late Samuel Doe as the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and which saw a dynamic and quick shift in the diplomatic relationship, because these people must be the one to sell the image of the government. Even if if a story were told about your president is dead, your president is dead, you are going to take like those binders that you have raised on your lap for the, even though you say those are errors of banner, they are the ones supposed to take those things and preach the good things of the government to do the damage control. Can these people do it? And secondly, most people been arguing, they've been saying, I don't know on what basis, and some of the thing it's coming to light too, that Minister Maggie, the Koji, the Tue, they are the live wire of this government, and their talking point has been, hey, Mr. President, these people, the oppositions or people that disagree with you, they don't want to see us, because if that happens, so what they did, they tied this story with the Samuel Doe and the late great D. Allison. These people were the confidants of the president. Patrick Minico, we know what happened. They are in the process of neutralizing you. They want us out, and when we are out, potentially your agenda will not sell. I'm not sure whether this sort of narrative is what playing within this government, because vice president, again, like the vice president, if the president is not coming, these people, they could be, let us say the mayor, they can come, they can say the mayor, it's fair to say the city mayor can come, can meet mayors from different places, talk to other people, and talk about the needs of the city corporation, not just only Morovia, but Liberia as a whole. So they can be part of that delegation to meet counterpart, to negotiate, to talk. But the head of that delegations is crucial, is important.
Mr. Soe, let me just say this again. If this government believes that they're going to play the same style of Tutman, Toba, Doe, and who have you, then they have missing the mark. Because Liberians of today, especially the young Liberians of today, they are highly educated. I keep saying that, and I'm not fooling around with this. They are also sophisticated. They know exactly what is happening. And if you cannot support these kinds of young people to be involved in these things, then you're missing your mark. For example, you have Honorable Sir Joseph. The guy came over here by himself, but within 2 or 3 weeks, Sir Joseph had been to almost 14, 15 states of the United States. I don't know how he got these to these places, but he's traveling. And every time he goes to one of these places,
my understanding, he should be in Minnesota.
Yeah, exactly. Anytime he goes to any of these places, he's meeting. Firstly, he's being connected by Liberians to these government officials of the United States or whatever state he's going to be in. So even if they are not giving him something, they will give him their ears. And then he will explain to them some of the problems his constituencies are facing in Moserado County. And even if they don't have it, they might point, and you know that, Mr. So here in this country, information is good. You can go somewhere, the person might not get what you want, but he will have most likely will know somebody who will have what you're looking for. And this is called network. But when these people come here, especially
they don't even unveil themselves.
No, they will not meet with nobody except for people who they will only meet.
Disagree with them.
They will only meet, Mr. So they're only gonna meet with praise singer, and this is what I'm saying to them. I'm not a praise singer. I will respect their view. I will disagree with them, but I will do so with respect. I'm not gonna insult them like other people will. I'm not gonna do that. Even if I don't agree with them. There's no reason for me to use vulgar language on my brothers and sisters from Liberia. Even if I don't agree, even if they are sedition, I'm not going to use any kind of bad words. Because why? These are my own brother. Jefferson Kochi, for example. Honorable Jefferson Kochi. He's a Liberian. And what if I go home? Or even don't go home? We meet somewhere. After I finish using bad language against it, then if we meet somewhere, then I'm going to show face. That's not what I do. That's not what I do. So I'm not going to insult. I'm not going to use any kind of bad words. I will be truthful and I will disagree with them, but I must do so with respect. This is what I've always said, Mr. Soe. And so for these people to come here in the United States and just have feel like being a praise singer, the people who are praise singing for you, they mean nothing for you. Because all they're doing, they're pointing out the enemy of the state, said their court, the enemy of the state. Samson told the enemy of the state. Is that right? Samson told from Toad Town, enemy of the state. Y'all know me, sir. Our countrymen, y'all know me. I will be enemy of you. You don't know me. Where you got? I don't want. I don't even know both. I don't even know both to be minister. Then I will be an enemy of the state. But I will tell y'all the truth. Look at the roads, Mr. Soe. Look at the roads. And if some guy put up something, look at even the university. Look at those buildings. Look at those buildings. How much would it take for you to renovate some of those buildings? How much would it take for you to even rehab some of these roads? You don't need all of the road to be asphalt based. You don't need all of these roads to be concrete based. You don't. You can take the dirt out, go dry it somewhere else, and bring it back and put it in. You will get good road. But these people, they for some reason, their mindset is not like that. And people have saying international community, they will only give you the minimum. They're not going to give you maximum because they know you're going to waste it. So that's just what it is.
Yeah, it's really bad off. I've come to realize it's not just with even in the government sectors, public, private sectors, simply because people are not doing their jobs. And that it starts with government. Like we see here on the federal level, the monitor these various states, there are certain regulations these states must follow as well. So it should be the responsibility. Like right now, my mother, you know, her situations, where she's going, that even people go in the hospital, you have to either go get your fan, you have to kill mosquito at night, and people just don't care. I mean, it is bad and bad off. And there's a need that, conversation. And that's what sometimes is troubling. We who sit behind this microphone, if we cannot have genuine conversation about the ongoing things in Liberia, it makes it very difficult. It doesn't matter who is dead tomorrow. It's weird now. It's horrible. It's bad. But if we can't even checkmate these guys or people who wants to be leader, they have some. They talk loosely. Whatever driven them, nobody knows. And the thing together tomorrow is just going to be a bread and butter. Let's play this video here. We're talking about Sir Joseph. Let's play the video here and see here some of his engagement.
Executive, so I told the president of our meeting, we want to officially invite you to Liberia as well. We want to say thank you for your work and thanks for the support of the Liberian community, and we look forward to our partnership.
I'm calling you.
The co-presiding of the Liberian Senate and the chair and executive, so I told the president of our meeting, we want to officially invite you to Liberia as well. We want to say thank you for your work and thanks for the support to the Liberian community, and we look forward to our partnership along with you.
Oh, thank you. Very kind.
Yeah.
Very kind.
Liberia. I'm the co-presiding of the Liberian Senate and the chair and executive, so I told the president of our meeting, we want to officially invite you to Liberia as well. We want to say thank you for your work and thanks for the support to the Liberian community.
Okay, that's a little clip there by the mayor, Aurora, I believe it's in California, doing one of his visits. That been bring in the labor there. That's part of it. He's working. You know, if you want it, you have to go for it. You got to beg. You got to ask. You don't have it, you just don't have it. Straight
Look,
talk.
Mr. Soe, and Sir Joseph, almost Sir Joseph is a sedition. So they must say we don't agree. Anybody you see this, you must say we agree on nothing. That one, no, brother,
Yeah,
no.
yeah, exactly. That's what he's doing. He's inviting him to Liberia. That's why he said he want him to go.
Yes. So what
That's
Sir
what he
Joseph
said.
is doing, he's laying out the groundwork for future. So Sir Joseph, after connecting with all these people, he can stay in Liberia. He doesn't have to come here and call, make a phone call. Excuse me.
Are you drinking palm wine?
Mr. Soe, will you please? I'm not in Town.
Yeah.
I'm not in Town. And so I don't drink palm wine. I don't drink anything. I drink water. But anyhow, the point that I'm making here, Mr. Soe, is this. Sir Joseph doesn't even have to come back here. But the fact that he has already have connection, and once people believe in him, let me just tell you one story. You know, Sir Joseph, and I'm not trying to bring any kind of connection up here anyway, but Sir Joseph was here in Northern California recently. So I drove with him and going to places. And Mr. Soe, places that we went from building to building, from company to company, they're all so glad to have him. And they are willing to donate more. There was a place that we went. We went to a place, and the guy has some material that he's going to be helping. So Honorable Sir just said, yeah, but I like something new. I don't want these things here. They're a little bit older, so we don't want to take them. Then they start giving you an issue. We don't have people to repair. So you know what this young man told Honorable Sir just said? He said, because of you and things that you have shown me, I will call the manufacturer, the people who manufacture these things you want. I will call them and make them to give you brand new from the factory. And in fact, it will be 50% discount. It will be 50% discounted based on Sir Joseph's record. So Honorable Sir Joseph have already connected with this young, and that was the first time meeting him. But this man was impressed. Now, Honorable Sir Joseph leaves from here and go to Liberia and see the need of the particular items that many people in Liberia want these things and they're going to be beneficial. He can stay in Liberia and connect to this guy and say, I'm sending X, Y, and Z over there. Can you please supply? And this guy will be willing to do so. Mr. So these are the kinds of connection we're talking about. When you sit down, you go over there. What Minister McGill have done, he put in they believe the CDC is in Liberia. They think CDC, like you saw him inaugurating the CDC government or whatever they call themselves in Liberia. Put your hair off. Why I say you must follow me? You think that's what we were eating in Liberia, Minister McGill? That's what we were eating in Liberia. After you put CDC USA hand up in the air and they become president, whatever position they are, is that it? No. Why aren't you connecting with many Liberians here in California? So one more thing, here in California, we have a lady right here, and I'm not going to call her name, but right here in Sacramento, a Liberian lady. Will you want anything done? In fact, I know this woman real well. I think you probably know her too. But this woman here in Sacramento, these people running for the councilman, senatorial position for the state and thing. This woman, they will contact her for her to be part of their campaign. That's how much powerful she is around here. She's a Liberian, but you don't go around. She doesn't go around showing herself, oh, I'm powerful, I'm powerful, this and that. But she's well connected. She's well connected.
And that's you see, that's the difference with our people. And the reason some of the successes may, even though they have their own forte, the two-way party or whatever it is, even the Taylor, connections is very much important, and trust in anything is very much important. When people confide in you, when people trust you, it doesn't matter. Any time, any hour, they do business. They do business with you. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you.
They do business with you, but lack of trust, believe me, it brings a lot of apprehension, not just only on you, but even the very institutions that you represent. Let me tell you about a little bit. So I don't think he really needs to even be in the Senate. And I can for sure tell you, I'm all for someone that is a decent, good character, who is honest and from a very humble background. That I can say for Sir Joseph, because we all were in Camp Waterloo during the war crisis. I'm talking about 19.
Mr. Soe, please let us don't praise any member of CDC here tonight. But please let us don't praise CDC member here tonight.
It's not a matter. CDC as an institution, there are people that are within If we have some good ones there, we must say it. Just how we can chastise it. When we have some bad ones in Liberty Party, which of course there are some bad ones, we will say it. So
Liberty Party is always a good party.
you see that you are one-way street guy, and that's why the country it is why it is. But I can tell you, Sir Joseph that I knew from Camp Waterloo, he's still the same person. So his trust with these white people is not just from George Weah or the CDC. I'm not sure. I don't know. I mean, more or less, it's just probably the title and the privileges and all of these people here. But his connection is being way from the missionary. And that's why you have all these tons of school. I'm just only saying this to say, I'm not sure whether he's being used effectively by his own party as well. Because this guy, the missionaries, the people that he were working with when we were in Camp Waterloo refugee, anybody that from Camp Waterloo, Sierra Leone, I seen they know thing. And I know the in-depth how even the George Weah got to get connected with Sir Joseph. But that's not the point. The point here is you must have credible people, you must have trusted people. But apparently, some of these people that we have, take for example, Moluba Molu, who is the party chairman of a ruling party, came to this state. And he was, I don't know whether he did that. I don't want to draw that conclusion, but if it happens, I'm not talking about the CDC convention convention that went to Atlanta, Georgia. This guy said ridiculous things about a sitting president, about a president of my country. And up to this time, they were unable to chastise him. He walks free. He walks away free. Nothing. He's untouchable. He was invited on Spoon. My understanding, he consented. He agreed. The publicity went out. He did not show out. I don't know whether there was a town hall meeting with other Liberians, wherever he was stopping. I had his number. I called multiple times. He did not show up, and he was just unable to sit with any of the media outlet, not just on the LPR, to tell the directions of his party and what he intends to do. Instead, he turned to be a master of ceremony at a little mini convention. What is that?
Mr. So
he doesn't know as a party chairman you help to drive the agenda of the government, because when the government does not succeed, it is a party that fails. He doesn't know that.
Mr. So this was one of the most disappointing aspects of Moluba Molu, as far as I'm concerned, of his political engagement with respect to Liberia. Moluba Molu, from the time that I've been reading and been hearing about him and even reading some of his posts and what have you, one of the things that pricked my attention at the time was that he went on social media and said he met with Barack Obama. And there was a big deal about that.
Do you have to lie to gain recognition?
Exactly. There was a big deal about that. But
Aros Delon, all of them.
Moluba Molu went on to truly, excuse me, Mr. So. You know what?
Hey, you want me? You want to?
Mr. So, you know what? Let me put the country thing here out. The people that are watching me tonight, look at somebody playing with my voice. And you don't take time. You don't take time. From total, this is not the small thing I got in my hair. That total, yeah.
The small thing not Mikey. The small thing not helping you. Then you're talking about somebody playing with your voice. Please get me.
Mr. So, let me finish. On a very serious note. Look, so Moluba Molu, as far as I'm concerned, single-handedly took CDC and put CDC on his back.
Bad for the country.
Just hold on. Moluba Molu was its own record of saying if Dr. Ambassador Weah is not elected in this country, you people should crucify me. Mr. So, if somebody will put themselves on the line for that, and sure, he fought hard and won the election. What I thought would have happened, Moluba Molu would have taken a position to be close to the president, to continue to advise the president, because he brought in the winning ticket. He brought in the winning ideas. But they didn't do that. They decided he wanted to be chairman of the party. Here's another thing. He's not coming on spoon why it is so.
Donald Yankwa say he's the one, and you say you get carted, the man say you get Lpr-Tv. You know, he calls the, and you better beg McDonald to lay that eye.
Oh my goodness, Liberia was Sonny.
Oh my goodness.
We're talking Sonny serious, man. But anyway, okay, my man, I watch.
And you say somebody responsible, so he telling you say he responsible.
Okay. So anyway, anyhow, he's not going on spoon.
I'll come to you.
Mr. Soe, Monuba Molo not going on spoon. The most disappointing part of that is this. You just had an election as a sitting chairman of a party that got slack, whooped big time. You would think Monuba Molo would have jumped onto that opportunity. They will ask you whatever public you face, serious media, your leak tape issue will come up. You face the music, you deal with it, and you move on. But you use this opportunity to explain why were you guys defeated, and then people will take you serious up to this point. See, this here in the United States, in the diaspora, are still guessing what happened because they don't know for sure. But if Monuba Molo will come out, he's an educated person. I'm sure he has notes of what was happening. And you come and explain to the people why the election went the way. This is how you keep records.
All right,
this is how you keep records.
Let me go to the caller here quick, so we're going to get an engagement. Your caller, Sarif, 267 number. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here, Zion. How you doing?
Good. Good evening. Welcome, brother.
Zion, my name is G. Mada Cannibal, and of course, I'm the little brother of Tom Oyu.
Okay. Oh,
I think you and myself met the last time. In fact, I'm a journalist by profession from Liberia. That's how I came here.
Okay.
From the Capitol building in Monrovia.
Oh, you're a reporter there. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Good evening. So where are you? You're in Philly?
I've been Philly, yes. You know, I'm in Philly.
Okay. No, sometimes people can move to now and they can still carry the number. So that in power area, when people roll their number over, they need to pay taxes to that other state. So that
I know they wrap us of our numbers.
Write it over. Yeah, so okay, thank you. Yeah, okay, good to be here. Look, this is about the country. We don't, for us here, we don't really care about who's in power, who's not in power. What we endeavor here is people to do the right thing, because it's just, how long can we talk this thing, my brother? Like you rightfully say, you've been there, how long can we talk this thing? Why leaders are unable to, like what this guy's saying here? And that's the discouraging part. Yeah, I'm coming to it. That's the discouraging part of our politicians. Very defiant. They are unapologetic to their thing. They do not have the courage, even if it goes wrong, to come back to tell the people, I'm sorry. Then like the whole kingdom comes down on it. But go ahead. Let's hear from you.
Well, one of the things here is when I have my show, the Cannibal Show, that I come on, but I haven't been coming on in 2 days because I just came back to Europe.
Okay. Come join us.
What's that?
I think can't join us.
I know, right?
Okay. Yeah.
I was just in Liberia. I was in Liberia in February.
Okay.
You know, it's a serious matter when I see you guys who are the educated people on the show and things. I can be happy and I can be sad at the same time. Because if you look at Liberia when you and myself were born in Liberia, the time we were born, look at the way Liberia was and the place Liberia is right now. I was in Liberia when I saw the dead body of a young girl who had her life ahead of her.
Mm-hmm.
A dead body. You know, I left Liberia in 1982. Soon though, then took over. It didn't take too long, and I left and I came to the States. But the key there is this: there is a road called SKD Boulevard that would name in honor of Doe in Congo Town.
Yeah.
They murdered a young girl and they placed her body there because I went on the scene. I was in Liberia.
Wow.
All the Elisha Talu and all these people were telling me, oh, man, when you get in Monrovia, can't see us. And this and that. I never saw nobody. I was there. I wore my short trousers. I was moving around the city.
This guy?
Yeah, you were asking questions. Yes. Yes, I wore my short trousers and I was moving around. You got 4 auditors murdered in the Republic of Liberia. There is no inquiry. There is no investigation. It's problematic when you have people running Liberia that have no clue. That have no clue what Liberia is all about. Ask one of those people and say what Liberia is about. They will not tell you. They can't tell you why Liberia was founded. They can't tell you how Liberia was founded. They can't tell you that, you know. The next thing is those of you who learn book. I told somebody this before. Those of you who learn book, who know how to read and write, because I'm not part of the group. You always have to go to Liberia to run your country. Let me tell you that. Because the people that are running Liberia, if that's how Liberia is supposed to run, then we have problems. I'll tell you this. You got direct dealing. All the politicians. I'm not part of no party in Liberia. I don't support nobody there. But when I went to Liberia, I was very disappointed. The condition Liberia I found itself in. You know, they got a young kid called Jefferson Kochi. You there, young?
Yeah, listening.
There is a lot of people. The kid is very young. There's a lot of people that talk about that kid. He's a very ruthless kid. And, you know, I'll tell you this. Killing people in Liberia, murdering each other. I don't care what country you come from. Murdering people will not solve our problem. Children did it. They're sitting behind bars, and some of them are dead. The first thing is, I'm a student of history. Go back to World War II. From World War II, go back to Cambodia. After 40 or more years, the remnants of the Khmer are still being prosecuted in Cambodia.
Right.
And people think it's a joke when you have rebel running Liberia. Rebel. Warlords are running Liberia. I was in Liberia. I told my little brother when I was in Liberia, I said, man, I hope when I get to Liberia, they don't arrest me.
Why?
Why? Because you know, I have been speaking out before I even got to Liberia. What I'm telling you, I've been saying the same thing before I got to Liberia. You know, the late Tom Wee, when he was going to Liberia, he told me, man, let's go to Liberia. I told him no. We come from a little village called Liberia.
Why are you? I'm a little bit curious. I'm curious. Why you refuse to go in?
I refuse to go to Liberia because we are all related, you know.
Okay.
I'm a bastard man. If you check my record, I got Crown family. I got Pele family. I got Crew family.
You felt targeted?
What's that?
I say you felt targeted. Do you think
no, I did not feel targeted because we are all related. Liberia is a very small place.
Okay.
So why should I join somebody to go to Liberia to start a war?
You mean before the war, he wanted you to go?
Before the war,
he wanted you to go with him.
1989, he wanted him to go.
That's interesting. And you refuse?
I refuse to go. I refuse.
You are injecting something fascinating into this conversation here. This is LPR. I'm going to be going here. Maybe we might not end it here because I think that's my first time hearing. But you refused to go. You were told there was a war that was coming?
First of all, I knew everything about before one firecracker was fired in Liberia. I knew everything that went on.
Did you reported it as a Liberian?
Did I report it?
Yes.
Where was I? I was already here in America.
Yeah, but you also have a.
I was already in America. But the thing is,
we have an embassy here. Liberian embassy was here.
You and myself can. But in fact, it was not something that Joe did not know. The question is as to whether people believe Joe. Joe announcing Monrovia that people. You know, most of the time,
the reason we're having the conversation, I will bring in my colleague here too, because most of the time the government gets the slap. So even when something is happening and it becomes rumors, it's out there, and the government comes out to say, we ordinary people have apprehension the government is about to execute or to carry out a witch hunt.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Mhm.
I'm gonna tell you this. I was in Monrovia at the Temple of Justice. Let me tell you this, to show you. I got information about Liberia. I got most of it, not all, but most of the information when it comes to press. You know a guy called Pete Keller?
Pete who? Pete Keller?
Pete Keller, you know Pete Keller, that mulatto boy who used to be the reporter at the executive mansion. He was working for Lena, but it's not the executive mansion.
Okay.
Okay. You know the arrest and execution of Thomas Wasson. Remember that, right?
I know that very well. I know the story.
What was the lesson plate number that folks welcome bus that took them from Post Market to bring them to Temple of Justice? I'm trying to give you an information that is very key to
I was in Oro when Wasson here. Yeah, but let's digress here a little bit.
Because I just want you to know how I keep information.
Yeah, and I love that. I like people who
GV the lesson plate number on that van I used to bring was in there. It was GV. That during those days that people were using GV plate.
GV, yeah, it's a rare license plate. And GV20 went to Sano because I was in Sano. Yes. That was around 77 something during the Wulatayino case here. But let's digress here a little bit here so that our people will understand. Right. I asked a question here, but I'm not sure whether you answer that question here, because part of that we must keep record and keep history. It is about our country. If they say, to get a coordinate.
Ask the question again for the record.
Okay, for the record. They get a saying here, C8, report A. Now, you said you knew everything. You were told the war was going, and according to you.
Most of everything.
Okay, most of everything. So meaning you have a little bit in-depth or insight of what was going on. So I asked the question, did you report that information to the government of Liberia as well as Liberian? Hey, this is what it's about. Why?
Because when I left Liberia, I was one of the youngest boys that were working with the Ministry of Information, but it's signed to the Capitol building. Mm-hmm. I was very young. I had to be. I came to America when I was less than 20 years old. Seriously. In 1982, I left Liberia and came to the States.
But you were adult. 20, you were already an adult in making informed decision.
I understand that. But when I left Liberia, the coup had just taken place.
Do you feel that you did a disservice? Do you feel that you did a disservice to Liberia based on the information?
You could be right if you said that.
Am I right?
Yes, you are right. But I wasn't going to, and there are reasons why I would never join war. I would never join anybody that would leave from here and go to Liberia to say, well, they want to shoot a firecracker in Liberia. So I wouldn't agree to it. But I think it was premature, like you said, that I didn't report this to maybe the embassy or something like that. But those had a lot of information on some of these things that happened in Monrovia.
So for the record sake, based on what you are telling us, and I'm going to be bringing my entire labor here, based on for record sake, so it appears to me some of the things the government were talking at the time, because sometimes we doubt government because our government is always on the slapping end of issue here. From what I'm hearing, it appears to be true. Some of the things that we were hearing at the time, there was an incursion in
there was a lot of things those said that were true.
That's quite interesting. Let me go to my friend here. This is all things. This is LPR special. Let me go to my liberal progressive. Don't go. And it's good for us to have this sort of honest conversation. The liberal.
Yes, Mr. Soe.
The conversation has taken a pivotal point, which of course that's the beauty of communications and having an exchange here. What is going through your mind?
Well, I on the contrary to this young man answer, I don't think he has any obligation to tell anybody anything. I mean, the government of the Republic of Liberia at the time were very brutal to its people, and there was nothing strange. So these people didn't just get up at one night and say we're going to do X, Y, and Z. I've been saying this here from long time. Back in 1985, when Tom Woyu was president of ULA, we had a meeting over there in Philadelphia, in the summer of Philadelphia, or summer of '85, in Philadelphia. I was representing the group as one of the persons representing the group from Rhode Island Liberian community. So I am quite aware of it. But to go back to that, I don't think he had any obligation to tell anybody what is happening. The government.
Wait a minute. He doesn't have any obligation.
No, he's not. He's not an employee of the government. He's not or spy for the government.
You see, this is where you and I would differ in thing. Okay, you are in Sacramento. If you were passing by and you heard somebody pouring a gun or something, or verbally saying things that is life-threatening.
I'm not on an obligation. I'm not on an obligation to tell anybody. If I want to do so on my own willing mind, I will do so. But it's not like I'm somehow.
But if you don't do it and then danger takes place, will you feel?
It doesn't matter. It is something, Mr. Soe. There are certain things in life that you put yourself in a position to be able to move around as a free citizen. Now, the first thing is this. He said he knows most of the things that was happening. He never, according to him, he never participated in it, number one. Second, for him to pick up phone and call the Republic of Liberia and say X, Y, and Z, I don't think that was, he can do that. But he was not on any obligation to do such.
Okay. All right. That's a view. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, the same thing, the point the gentleman just made make a lot of sense, because the same thing happened when few people called Tom Williams the last day of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf term in Liberia and said they wanted to go to Liberia to start another war. And then Tom called the State Department, to the State Department. What was it? Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was one of those people who were against Tom, who actually did not thank Tom, but she was one of those people who called the arrest of Tom. When Tom came from Monrovia, they arrested Tom right here at the Newark Airport. And Tom was downtown Philadelphia in federal jail. I used to visit him there because I work for the government, the United States government, since I came to the country. The thing there is this. One thing we have to do is, right now, all the things is the water on the bridge. Let's focus on what we have at hand.
Yeah.
I personally feel that we need to fix Liberia. And in fixing Liberia, those of us who are indigenous, but be fair to ourselves and focus on where our country will focus on.
When you say fair to ourselves, what is the perfect interpretations of fair to ourselves?
The perfect interpretation is the politician you have in office in Monrovia, in Liberia now. Those politicians, if I was the only Liberian, they can never hold a dog catcher position in Liberia, because
can't join my party.
I'm serious, because these people are not competent to actually run Liberia. Where do you all your years in Liberia, look, you live in America, where did you ever see somebody get up and the police director decide to arrest a sitting representative? Answer that question. The thing is, where have you seen a sitting representative being arrested, despite the fact that they guys say some foolishness, and I don't know them like that. I don't know none of you representatives.
But recently, you monitor the news too. Recently, right? Was that in Texas?
I said I just came from Liberia.
No, I'm not talking about Liberia. I'm talking about arresting. The other day, the old Democrat House, was that Texas or Florida? They were on the run. They wanted to arrest them. You remember that?
Yeah, but the key there is this: when they arrest you for you to go to court and be investigated. But the thing that is, the court issue order to have these people arrested, not a police director get up and say, well, I'm going to go pick up a sitting representative.
Okay, that's good. All right.
The next thing is this, and then because you got other people that are with you.
Yeah. In a minute, just wrap it up so I'll go to my guy. We'll soon be here.
If you look at people like Darrell Dillon is one of the people who perpetrated one of the biggest fraud in Liberia. He lied about things. I'm not in.
But some of us we are saying here, and that's the sad thing. We said here before.
I'm a U.S. citizen. I don't need jobs in Liberia. If you go on my side, you will see the way I speak. The next thing is Omer Bwaka is not competent to be president.
Oh,
12 years of his time. He was behind Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. all of the atrocity Ellen Johnson Sirleaf caused for the Liberian people with all the kind of criminal behavior, all of those stealing she did, brought her homosexual son in Liberia to destroy the foundation of Liberia. Those things, Boga sat there and never said nothing.
Oh boy!
So we gotta rethink, and that's the whole lot of things.
This train not going to have a safe flight, my man. Thank you so much. Is this your number? Because this is a boycott fanatic, and I say, yeah, Darius Dillon, these people, it's just so sad. We support people, we follow people. I don't know based on what judgment. We don't ask them questions, and that's what we're seeing. Most of the advocates right now.
Let me leave you with a Basel parable. Let me leave you. The Basel man got a parable. In the interior, normally they use a hunting dog to hunt, right?
Yeah.
The Basel man got a parable to say, in the absence of a hunting dog, you better go to hunt. No, we say why pine vanqua.
My man, you say how old are you when you came here and your Basel so?
My man, I speak Basel, and when my uncle then talk, I couldn't speak Basel, but I speak Basel to the letter. Y'all have a good night, gentlemen.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You got my number. You call me anytime.
All right. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Right.
Samson Soe.
Mr. Soe, this young man that you allowed to talk for almost 15 minutes or so said nothing of interest to me, to be honest with you. Because everything that was being said here from his admission of saying that he was culpable and what have you, I have no interest in it. And second, this man, just like me, I left Liberia too at a very young age. I left Liberia when I was like maybe 16, 17 years old. But that doesn't mean that that I'm disconnected. I can speak the language as much. But to be honest with you, for him to sit here and say these people, the government of the Republic of Liberia, they are unable to govern. I say that all the time. However, this is not banana republic. These were people that were duly elected by the Liberian people themselves. You cannot come out here and say Liberia need to be fixed, but yet still you don't want to respect the will of the people. You don't want to respect the people who elected the president, even if the president is inept, as I always say. But the fact that he was elected by the Liberian people, we have to respect that. And now here he comes, the last statement, talking about Honorable Dallas Dillon and Dr. Bakai. These are people who we expect to lead tomorrow. And you're going to say that these people are unable to lead? Who do you have? Who do you have? You're going to go and bring Timothée back to you're going to go and bring Amos Sawyer back? This is unacceptable. Dr. Bakai is it. We are set to defeat the CDC and make sure to save the Republic of Liberia, Mr. Soe. I say so. Samson Soe.
What a shame. All right, let me go to this caller here. 612-0274. Caller, are you there?
I'm there, Mr. Soe. Thank you for taking my call again.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening. Good evening to you, Mr. Soe. Myself as a young crowd man, I wasn't alive during the war. I was born in 1992, so everything has happened before, And the gentleman, I switched my topic quickly because the gentleman that came in was an interesting topic.
Right.
That's why I wanted to touch on this quickly before I get into my political comment. I wanted to make sure. I think you gentlemen, I really enjoyed the dynamic between you two, and I really hope you guys can do a show really in depth about what led up to the war, the conflict, and the things that really happened between, our people in Liberia. Because myself, trying to find myself, my history, my travel history, and I think, no offense to those who may take offense to it, but I think Samuel Doe did a lot of harm for future crime boys and girls growing up in terms of what happened in the country. Some of the hate that came to us on, simply because of what people from our tribe did in the past. And today we're still trying to find out and learn about it and trying to find out who we are, and hear the stories from the past that happened before. But to go quickly to the topic tonight, like many things in life, things are reflective. So like relationship, you always find who you always look at yourself in your work, and sometimes you find yourself in your politician. Our country, we always get reflective leaders. who we are is the leader that we pick to represent us. So most of the time we pick leaders who are corrupt because our society itself is corrupt. And another thing that bothers me, I want to see a cultural leader, a so-called native man, who will do well. And every time people talk about our great president, our great president, they are all the so-called American Liberian. Why can't we find a native man who will do well? We had though turned out to be a disaster. We got a so-called native man now. It's not going well. So for you and Mr. Toll, what do you guys think we can do to find our best possible person that will represent the indigenous? Also, no offense to the American Liberian, but we want to find somebody who's capable, because one of the things they'll say about the country can lead the country. You're capable of leading it. And so far, they've been proven right, because anytime we have a real countryman there, nothing ever seems to go right. Everything is always going backwards. Okay. So that my comment, maybe you guys can address it, and hopefully I can have a show talking about the past war, and I really like to listen and learn from it.
Yeah, okay, thank you so much. Let me go to the next caller here. Okay, good evening. Are you there, caller?
Yeah, I'm there.
Okay, welcome. What's your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to just throw light on the people that representing the government from Republic of Liberia.
Yeah, okay, let's make it quick.
In few weeks or days, I've not the same people that came the other time. And they kill a lot, they say they do this, and they went by Liberia. What really happened the first time they came? When they went by, what was the result? And they turn around again, they use the same government money, they say they can't lobby. So are they in the interest of the country, or what are they in the interest of, all the kids to do the merrymaking? We should look at it keenly. What is the purpose of being in the United States? What was the purpose the first time? What was the purpose the second time? Is Liberia Guinea or Liberia Sea? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay. Well, legitimate question. The Liberal.
Yes. I think the brother has a good point, but there are a few things I want to address here. I think if we want to find out what is happening, what has happened in Liberia that brought all of these things, and I feel bad for most of these young people. I feel very bad because they just, some of them, they know Liberia because they are Liberians. But to understand exactly, some of them were not even born at the time. But yet still we saddle them with all of our grief and everything else. And for example, the young man here talked about what happened, and you were asking why. Well, I was privileged with some of the information for the coup myself. I'm not on an obligation to go run my mouth, because this is what would have happened if this man had gone out to tell the government at the time. What if they had come out based on the information he provided, and people died from that? Do you know the kinds of trauma this young man would have gone through? These are kinds of things you have to think about in order to go out to make these kinds of pronouncements. Liberia is not like the United States where they will go and do an investigation. If you send information to Monrovia and say X, Y, and Z is coming to, if that person gets there, they're not going to do an investigation. That person is surely going to be killed. Now, Mr. Soe, on this issue where this other caller talk about the people coming back for the second time, this is what I want to say to many of our viewers here. The three honorable men that came to represent,
be coming to you very shortly. Just hold up, please.
The three honorable men that came to represent Liberia. This is something that I told Mr. George the other day. These things have a way of turning against them. This is their second time of coming here, and if nothing good is coming out of here, they are stuck with Dr. Weir. It's going to be diminished. They are stuck among their own peers. It's going to be diminished because they're coming here and not being able to carry anything by. It's a concern to themselves, because now they're going to look at people are going to look at them. Perhaps even the foreign minister say, you ain't take me. Look where I bring you. I mean nothing. If you were to take me now, they're going to have people who will play money quarterback. If you did, if you that. So these people themselves, the Honorable Tour, the Honorable Kochi, the Honorable McGill, they themselves are very much concerned at this point, Mr. So it's nothing to sneeze at. These people are very serious and they're concerned about that.
Okay, let me go to here. It's all about Liberia here. Let's go here, caller. Thank you so much for being tolerant. Are you there? 763 number.
I'm here, sir. I'm here.
Yeah. I think there's another number here. Let me see here. Is that 484 number 2?
Yes,
no.
yeah. 484.
Yeah. Okay.
My name is McDonald Fluban Yaka, calling from Minnesota.
Oh, okay. That you the one going on the.
I just released his voice. I just released his voice just now.
Okay. You release it.
Okay. I just released it. He's singing clear for.
Thank you very much.
You know why I released it? Because he's a good type of joke worker and down below, so I released his voice just now.
Oh. Go ahead. Yeah.
It is. I mean, trust me. Whether we like it or not, Liberia is our country.
Right.
You cannot deport from Liberia.
No.
Certain things happening in our country, the government need to look at it very carefully. Those are the person how we just wear. Mr. Soe, tell me, my brother, why in this world a foreign minister cannot travel to the United States of America? A Liberian foreign minister can travel. And you keep in that state? You guys need to talk to the president. You gotta control the media so the president can listen to you guys. What about
I wish I had that opportunity. I'm telling you.
Brother, so please, that's not concern. It is concerning. You understand? It is very troubling. Our foreign minister can't come to the United States. You got to address the issue. The president needs to look at this keenly, my brother. It is very, very serious. Thank you very much. And something told. Next time, I'll not hold your voice again, okay? We are for the same camp. Thank you very much.
Oh, my goodness. I just thought it got so funny. All right. Okay, my man, you get any other thing to say? 763? So I want to...
No, that's all. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, and you guys will continue the good job. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much all right. But you know what? Do me a favor. Before the show goes, lock this guy voice up so he can't do plenty of things here. Lock it.
I'm going to lock it right now. I'll lock it right now. Trust me. Let me lock it right now.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Okay, Samson, just hold on 1 second. There's a call coming from Liberia here. Let me see what I can call this person. Let me call this person here. Let's see it. I mean, someone awake at this time here. It's a serious problem. Hopefully he or she person pick up the phone call. All right, trying to return your card. I believe there's a call coming from inside Liberia. Let's see what it is. Somebody up at this. Okay. Hello, caller, are you there?
Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, sorry, when you call somebody too, they were on the line. I believe you are calling to participate on the show?
Yes. Yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you so much. I mean, being awake up to this time, that's a good pit. You have a country. What's your name and where are you in Liberia?
I'm Terence down, based in Grand Basso La Plantation.
Wow, Grand Basso. Wow, good to hear you. Go ahead, my brother.
Okay, for me, I just started following the conversation. I'll be bold to see.
Yeah.
The whole thing that going on in Liberia is making some more time to say we're taking part in the election and other things. Because you see somebody in position today, maybe not doing the right thing, at the end of the day, another man will come on, I can make a difference. When you put in there, it be worse than the men that were in power before.
Wow.
Then what is it? I think other people will come and help in the process because Liberia is going backward.
You say other people? Who the other people? Who are you referring to? Where are they coming from?
Maybe it can be other people who outside, like people who have been outside, who have all experience, you know. Because we said before, like, oh yes, we let our native brothers in the place to take care of the native guys, our native fathers and mothers, all our brothers and sisters. Or we take the Congo people for instance, we put the native brothers there. They are doing it more than West. They are worse than the Congo people. Where are we going?
Are you disappointed as a Liberian?
More than disappointed in the lawmakers.
The lawmakers.
In the government officials.
The lawmakers, including your lawmakers from your own county as well?
I'm bold. I would say yes.
Why you think it's
I'm tearing down
responsible?
I'm tearing down for Nimba country, based in Grand Bassel.
Why you
Because
think
we are
it's
seeing it.
responsible? Do you think you're going to have a different? Is that something that's going to discourage you to participate? Because we have heard a lot of phone calls in the coming election because people just don't know who is who. They don't know the black from the white again. Do you think that that's going to affect?
I believe that most of the people that are coming to take part in government government activity, the public activity, they are all global seekers to akin to seeking their own interests. Not the people they are going to serve. Because when you go in power, you go there for people. People who will later you and place you there. When you go there, you build a safe place the people that are put you there.
Right.
We're empowered by some people. But you can't go there, you go see for only you and your family. Don't be global seeker. At the end of the day, the people who put you there, you're not looking after them.
Okay, so let me ask you here, baby. Do you hold yourself responsible to? Do you think that you didn't ask enough questions? You didn't do enough as a citizen? Why this person even really want to do what they were actually bringing to the table? Or what influenced your decision?
I will do. If I do, maybe I may not be the majority.
Right.
The majority will go and elect. At the end of the day, we the minority will stay join them with somebody the action they carry on.
Yeah, they just suffer with the unjust, right?
Yeah, because for me, most I can always tell people, maybe I may be the one to select the best one. If I been select the best one, all about enjoy. If you select the wrong one, all the way say somebody. So at the time of government, you want to say because I select the wrong one, I will suffer. No.
Everybody will feel the pain, eh? So
everybody will feel the pain.
So talk to me, because Liberia is where, and it doesn't matter where I am, but I think we need to have this sort of genuine conversation. As a young man, if you are adult, I'm sorry to say, but I know as a person, do you think what should happen this what's going through your mind with this whole electoral process 2023, who to be president? There are more than I don't know how many political parties. Do you see anybody in that group?
For me, I'll be bold to say, it's not only about the president, but it's about the representative, the senator, from the different countries. The mayor serving as senator or representing the district. If you have one of the children in the district or one of the child in the district to say yes, representing child living in the district, going to school here, representing child living here, going to hospital here. So for that reason, they don't even care for the district once. Representing child even here going to school in the district. So they don't even care for how schooling going on in the district. They even care. But if the representative based in the district, the children there going to school, going to hospital, eating in the district, they will care for that in the era. So if you become representative or senator based in the era, there people social with people along with your family, not only you, but
those people they bring in money. We know things are hard. These people bring in money. They do not offer anything tangible as to how they're going to do it. And you people look at these people and elate them as well. So you are part of the problem. You don't think so?
I would say yes, because what? I'm in Liberia, and even I will still consider myself being in the academic grade because we are all Liberians.
Right.
So even majority one about the whole tree. Even majority elect somebody, we will always say we elect.
Yeah.
So at least step for now, I will not separate myself from any group in that position.
I like you. You're an honest guy. Yeah. So
I will not do. So in the case, okay.
Yeah, election is her hand. No matter what, we got to elect somebody. I don't know who that person will be. Based on your experience, you right there on ground, you have had the experience. You've been disappointed and you're still disappointed. Who do you see best fixed to go to the executive mansion there to be the next president with all these million names that in the race come up? We don't know. There are more new, who knows? But based on what we know for now,
they are still coming up. They are still coming up. So for that reason, for me, at least stage for now, I've been part of CPP, but
you are part of what?
I'm looking at Braga is CPP.
Oh, you're part of CPP, okay.
I'm part of a unity party.
And what happened?
But in the case, unity party, I'm part and parcel of unity party. Unity party, but I'm looking at Braga is for now, and maybe I age for now, maybe we will be able to carry on what we want to deliver the goods that we want. For me, that's what I'm thinking. For now, 2023, If you still have a screen, that we see that you have a screen, people can place in there. But even only if another person here comes, that we know that the person did not good for the Liberian people.
Who is that person?
Because we need the best.
Who's the person you
For
think?
me, I'm still doing my research. I'm still checking on who to be the best. I'm not found it yet.
No found it yet. That's quite interesting.
No.
Wow.
I'm not found it yet. So I can't tell you say yes. Maybe the person will be the best or the person will be the best. No. Because don't put your interest in your guy that tomorrow he will disappoint you. Do your research, do your thorough background investigation. At the end of the day, so you can be defeated.
So next, from what I see, this coming election, you're going to have a different approach. You will want to hear from these candidates, correct, before you cast your vote for any president.
Good. And I'm waiting to
no
be
rest,
one of
no rest. I don't care. The going gets tough and the tough gets going. No rest, no oil, no money going to influence. You're not going to sell your birthright because those are short-term approach, and the long terms are so complicated, are so tough to deal with, and that's what we are happening right now. So you're not going to sell your vote. You're not going to compromise your right, correct?
And I can and I will not, because I can tell people and I will say, maybe for my from my condition for now, no, where I place myself and where I find myself for now, and not just somebody who can just be who can just look at somebody and say, yes, I will vote for you because you give me fire today, because I will come back and I get what I want.
Will you say that? What you have. Okay, before we let you go, I know it's late now. Will you also say that ideas to other Liberians or people in your community? Gentlemen, we need to take a different approach. We are electing president, not a beauty pageant, not a queen contest. We go, not somebody with reincarnate.
I'm willing to do so. I'm willing to be part and parcel of the good awareness thing that will be able to go around while they educate the Liberian people concerning our birthright, concerning our vote. Your vote is your strength, your power, your voice. To the Liberian people to be part of our awareness thing, to want to go anywhere the Liberian people are willing, the good thing are willing for to go. I'm willing to be part and parcel of it.
All right. Mr. Dennis, thank you so much for being awake this time of the hour. I want to save your number. I want to call you. And what I would do to will you help me within that area for us to talk to different people, some of the things that they are considering. This is the kind of conversation we need to have. We don't need to cause people for us to be listened to, because people who cause people who do those things, they have a limited ideas. They are children. They are not grown up. That shows when they too get to power, they will not listen to people. But I can disagree with you. You disagree with me. But we must look at these things, put them on the table, and be able to make an informed decision. I want to say thank you so much for being away such a sort of money hour in Liberia. But all you're doing is for the good of your country. That's why you are away. Thank you so much, and always follow Liberia Public Radio. Thank you so much, buddy.
Okay, thank you too.
All right. Okay.
Mr. Soe.
We'll soon be going here.
Mr. Soe.
Yeah.
Before you take on this other call here, let me make this point very clear. Even though I was a little bit, uncomfortable when the young man was talking about. Mr. Soe, will you let me finish my comment, please? I was not comfortable when he said about age with Dr. Buckeye but to be honest with you,
why are you in denial with this is age business?
Mr. Soe, because we're not here, like you correct yesterday, we're not taking Dr. Buckeye for a beauty pageant or whatever.
That's
people do. Let me make my point. Dr. Buckeye is it. I'm not beating around that. But let me make a very serious point here, Mr. Soe. What this young man just said is the prevailing view of many young Liberians now. They might not be able to have the opportunity to express it adequately that this young man just did. So if those of us that are supporting Dr. Buckeye, if we think we have this thing in the bag and don't want to work, we have another thing coming. Can
I pick the call off from Liberia, please? Another call, please.
Go ahead.
Okay, but don't pass out when they now go for hello, caller, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Big brother, how are you?
Okay, good. Good morning.
Yeah, how you doing, big brother?
Okay, I'm okay. Why are you all up in Liberia today? You're supposed to be sleeping. What catch your eye at, or what's so much important to you?
I've been following it live, and the caller just from Grand Bassa, motivated me to call, to at least contribute. And I always listen to you before I go to bed. I always do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so I want to say thank you to you for the show, and also thank you to Bibera Samson.
Oh, don't forget that
Also
man,
for
man. That man, yeah, no, thank you. Go ahead.
no, he's my big brother. He's my big brother. Forget about me. I lost the number, sir. But before I get off the line, I want you to send me a number back because I lost my phone.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, big brother, they call us from Bikana, these are things that we need to be honest ourselves. Like problem, most especially what we are going through right now. If you look at the political cycle, all look kind of fight here and there. Opposition people blaming government people and the CPP getting all kinds of confusion among themselves. What I will tell you, people, is this: the young people of this country, we are not being honest to ourselves, and because of this, politicians will use us, and the majority of the people will suffer. Because the young people, whenever you are friends with politicians, or you are sidelining or supporting someone when even they are doing wrong, we don't speak to it. We go on social media and insult each other, because of political differences and all that kind of stuff. It is killing this country a lot, people, if you ask me. And what I want everyone that is following this show tonight to understand is this: the CPP being one of the top political opposition to this government. Government ain't waiting, as they said, even though we all support the CPP. But there is no guarantee that when the CPP come to power, all those injustices that is taking place in this country, secret killing, violation of human rights will come to an end, corruption, all that kind of stuff. It will not come to an end. There is no guarantee. Maybe they may make some changes, but there is no guarantee that all those things that is happening today will not happen again.
Why?
Simply
On what
because,
basis you saying that?
yeah, because a lot of people that was in the Ellen government, they are still in the circle of the CPP. Example, Mo Ali, Secretary General of the CPP, not only Unity Valley, but he's the Secretary General currently for the CPP. If CPP take power, Mo Ali will get a good job, not even deputy job, but a proper minister job. Mo Ali will get that. Mo Ali is a man that was enjoying doing the Madam Sally 12 years, and used to go to Royal Grand Hotel and spend months. I'm not saying they say I know Mo Ali good. So Mo Ali is not enjoying that immunity today. So Mo Ali pretending like he loves the Liberian people, always speaking of ills in the society. These are people that we shouldn't trust, big brother.
Somebody will say you might have personal. Somebody who will disagree will say maybe you get personal thing about Mo Ali. Is that true?
No, I don't. Mo Ali and I, we don't even that kind of close. But that's the reality, big brother. I think few months later, a few months back, you heard a tape that was all on the social media. It was not me that put that tape on the social media about Mo Ali. Mo Ali voice was recorded, abusing a young lady. These are things that we've been speaking about in this country. You people look up to you, and then you are asking someone on a child to take pregnancy. That's a look and tell you that Mo Ali is not someone to that have that kind of moral, or people that you can look up to in society. So for Mo Ali, I don't have personal, but I'm just trying to give you an example, because when you say something, you have to point up to it. For number 2 is Ben Senvi. You see Ben Senvi, they are all around here today speaking of corruption on the Spoon Talk. You listen to Spoon Talk, you hear Ben Senvi talking harshly to Kev Hassan, speaking of corruption, all that kind of stuff against this government. Ben Senvi was the same man that supported President Weah during the runoff of the election 2017. Being that Ben Senvi was appointed at Lpr-Tv, and things didn't go well with Ben Senvi. Ben Senvi, after he was suspended or sacked from the government, Ben Senvi went to America and turned against the government. So that alone can show to you that there are a lot of people, but these are people that I know. But I may not know most of them, but there are people who work in the Ellen government who carry on a lot of corruption. The Ellen government was corrupt. They did a lot of corruption, but Ellen didn't do all that, by herself. There were a lot of people that contributed to that corruption, and they are still in the circle of Mr. Joe Biden.
Okay.
You see, so those kind of people around, there is we will support the CPP because there are some new people who haven't been into government, like Mr. Cummings and all the other political parties that very formulated the CPP. Maybe with some of their involvement in the CPP.
Okay, so let me quickly here. Quickly, in the CPP now, we have Joseph Boyka Cummings. Which way are you leaning?
Joseph Boyka.
I, as an individual, everyone have their side. 2017, what I did was this. There was 22 presidential candidates that was contesting in this country, big brother. So what I did my own research because I'm a student, and I did my research, and I saw Mr. Cummings to be the best candidate at that time. At that time, 2017. So I voted for him. And during the run of the election, there was nothing to be convinced about to go and vote for anyone. So I stayed home. I didn't vote. I didn't vote for Mr. Boyka. I did not vote for Mr. Weah. So now, Mr. Cummings being in a collaboration with other political parties, what I will do, I'm sitting watching. I will not insult nobody on Facebook for Mr. Cummings. I will never do that. If they go to a primary process, if Mr. Boyka wins, we always support Mr. Boyka. If Mr. Cummings wins, we always support Mr. Cummings. But if I'm opportune to be a delegate of that convention, I'm going to support Mr. Cummings.
Now we are hearing people want to have a primary, people want to have a block voting, and all of that. How do you feel about that? Which one do you want?
I'm just an individual, big brother, and more besides, I'm not an executive member of the CPP. I'm only a sympathizer and that of the supporter. I'm not well known in the CPP. But when it comes to COP, I'm an executive member of the COP Youth Wing. But the CPP, let me just tell you this, big brother. I've stayed with the top 2 presidential candidates of the CPP. I sit with them to their various homes and I listen to them. I said with Mr. Boyka and I said with Mr. Cummings. What I will tell you is this: the CPP may not hold. That is clear. People will come, they will pretend to you that the CPP will hold. It is going to be difficult, big brother. We went to Mr. Boyka, we said we talk, and I went to Mr. Cummings, I said with him, I talk, even though I support Mr. Cummings, but the 2 year is the CPP may not hold. It will just be difficult that Mr. Boyka will win a primary and then Mr. Cummings saying you're supporting. It will be difficult that Mr. Cummings will win a primary, Mr. Boyka saying you're supporting. So the CPP, just be honest to you, big brother, it may not hold. Whether block voting or people going there to vote on their own, it may not just happen that way. Because the reason I'm saying that is this: the block voting issue here, the ANC, if the primary or the convention they are going for, if they go there with the notion of block voting, any result that will defeat ANC, they may not take it. That's number one. Number two, if they go there for every candidate or every delegate to go and cast a vote, which of course ANC is always, really pushing that forward, and that's a very procedure. Block voting is just being that people are afraid, all that kind of stuff. So if they go there, they cast vote like that, with Joe Boyka and United Party people will say money was influenced in the primary or the convention. So they may not also accept the result of the convention, and there where you see division coming of all that kind of stuff. Okay. But for my observation, people, the CPP may not hold. That's the reality.
Some of your colleagues sharing the same view that you're sharing with us. Is that what you're hearing from some of your friends as well?
I just told you, I said with Mr. Boyka.
No, I'm not talking about those people. I don't talk. I mean, they are ordinary friends, your ordinary peers go. Have they shared some of the same concerns you're sharing with us here? Is that what some other people talking?
They will not. Some of those people that are close to the political parties and that of the political and those politicians, they will not say those things because they always want to protect the side they are supporting. For me, I support Mr. Cummings, but that does not mean that I should be a sycophant supporter to him, telling him that he will make it or all is well, all that kind of stuff. I will not be doing good for him. Okay. Some of those people, they come in the community, they will say those things. But when they go around those politicians in a social media page, they will not say this thing. But they want to say that candidate, or they want to attack other people candidate to make it look that they are so loyal to that candidate. That's what I said to you. The young people are the problem of this country, people.
All right. Thank you so much. I will call you. We need to hear directly from the voters, people, not these people time crier then that sit here and do stuff. And I'm happy that young people keeping this sort of honest conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Biwa Samson, how you doing, Biwa?
Thank you. Welcome. Thank you very much.
Okay. I will say a number. Okay. Samson, we are out of time here, but it's going to be interesting. what is happening for young people to be awake? This is I think like maybe what 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning. People are eager. People are anxious. People are in desperation in the sense that they want to know what is happening to their country. They want to hear the kind of conversation. Unfortunately, this sort of civil conversations is not heard in other places, and they sanction people's voices. If you would disagree with them, they cut you off. They label you as either seditions or opposition or this and that. But the young people, they are quietly listening, and they're going to be a big payback at the pool. What do you think?
Mr. Soe, I think Liberian politics now, especially on this government, is wonderful. It's just like Donald Trump when he took office here in the United States. There are so many things Donald Trump being the president opened up to the American people. There are so many things that Americans were not quite aware of how the government.
Another call coming from Liberia. This is interesting. We almost want to go here, but let me see here. I don't know. Who? Hello? Hello?
I'm gonna die again.
Yeah.
I love the conversation tonight.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
so
love it. Okay. Okay. Go ahead
I love
quickly.
it. You know the guy who's saying CPP will now hold, the CPP now hold, it will derive from the citizen who said they are part of CPP. Because they are sitting and another political party are using them to go against their party. You getting me?
How are they using it?
Because the man will feel within yourself that you don't have money to buy back around for yourself, you don't have money to buy even alcohol for yourself. Another man will come and say, if we're going to have party over there, if we're going to have program like so meeting over there, we want people to go there and disturb him. Then what happened? They go down to Unity Party headquarters. Where a few group of guys got together, they want to say, the one Musa Beniti. Musa Beniti will honor house arrest for hour plus. Because I can say, and I will say, they were sent by other political group. They were paid by other people to go disturb the ground. Just for other people to go against the party to say, CPU will not hold. 1. And 2, I will say, Alexander Kumi is so power grief. So for I will say, they want to have meetings, they go down and walk from out of the heart. As people, some people are there, they are so power grief. If you see you want to fight someone that just we are in the country, once they can bench we are.
Wow.
Once they will never bench we are in the country, I will say and I will say again. The only way I can bench we are until your group yourself.
Really?
Job we are just on the ground trap. One man gets set it.
Don't give me here. On the ground what trap?
On the ground trap,
you take me back home, and I know the trap you're talking about. The liberal there, he knows it. One person can't do it.
One person say on the ground trap, so difficult. Now we are looking. So to say that you go with your son.
Or you go with your pa or son, you don't go together, right?
Good. Why your son be holding the rope? Why Papa bringing the state, bringing the rope to tie?
Wow.
So how you looking?
I think that's a good hand to the opposition, though.
Fine, go hand to opposition. So I would be born to say I will CPP, but CPP I watch I let I ain't grandma so I ain't Morovia. I watch all the activity on live video. Just what I'm telling you always. I watch I left true. Most of the time when they go for meeting, see journalists there.
Oh man, these people keep interrupting.
All the meeting go right.
Wow.
Now meeting will never always end good. So I ended. Where are we heading to? I ended. We you let me know you're going to play football game. Then you take few players while you have confusion in your camp. When you get on that football field, there will be no good or no teamwork.
You won't tell that you score your own. You end up scoring your own goal.
You score your own set. When I just score, I said anything bad, go sit down. So what happening now in CPP? Some boy want to be here, some other boy want to be there. As I was Dominican before, where when she came to Grand Basso County district, electoral district number 4, compound 3. When she came there, she said Grand Basso need to produce president. So now I'm going on a board, on the CPP board. The chairmanship, we had to pray for it. But she came to run for central election. That was a statement at the party headquarters. So that alone said to me that, oh yes, those people, they are all power grief. They are looking at Asian Bwaka. Most that we both to say, people of CPP today, majority are in favor of Bwaka.
Why you think? But why you think that way? Why Bwaka?
I would say it because
why they don't want
we
the different
feel ourselves that Bwaka is just like Joe Biden in America, who are serving the government for a very long time and have bad experience. That when you get there, you be able to put material and be able to put mechanism in place.
So, but you see it? Do you see it differently?
Who being the game?
Yeah, okay.
Who being the game?
Experience.
Who had the experience?
Right.
Who had the experience in placing there?
Is that how you see it?
Had the experience.
Is that how you
want to do the Joe Biden?
Is that how you see it as well?
Bwaka looking like right now.
Is that how you see it as well?
So now if we begin, I'll be able to tell you today, majority of Liberian government, the person government official like minister, majority minister today, in some modern, they even know one person in Guinea. Very serious. So many from the day they were born, they are being Liberia, they go to school, Liberia, all our activity in Liberia, they don't want to come one single born, they even just say, I went Guinea to go Africa to my friend. He may not be minister. Where will he go to lobby it for the country?
Wow.
That man is sitting down. Okay, like another minister once I was watching, I don't know which ministry from, where he went posting car for a web, posting on media. All that why when the masses are suffering, you are doing that on media. They know so features.
Yeah, from presidential affairs, assistant minister for WAP.
That's good, president affairs. David minister for president affairs.
What he needs to
Basing YG for a web, posting it, by explaining one, wasting why the car. All that one, why it be? Because why they are all immature officials. Sorry, we say that. Because you're a mature person, you will not do that. Why the masses are suffering? You will not do that.
Okay. All right, my man. Thank you so much.
People watch you live. People following your activity, you are public figure for now.
All right.
So they want suffering in the country.
Okay.
The people you put them somewhere, they are mature. They are just people that carry down who lay down here, kitchen. You put in somewhere today. He wants for children to come out small too. Forget you can get other people's only. What happened to all here? It will be start falling by very serious.
I know. All right, my man. Thank you so much for your time this evening. All right.
For me, I will leave on the show. I slept good the afternoon. Then I don't even sleep.
All right. Okay.
It was once I was with Ellis Snow, 2006 campaign time. I was with Ellis Snow. You see Ellis Snow? Well,
okay. Thank you, Clarence. That was
take project. When you go now, you end up completing. Oh, why the error? You get 1,000. What did you get 1,000 US? Or that when you put it in your pocket, people eat it. But any day, no project going on. Only take projects to more for after for your need.
All right. Thank you so much.
So thank you for your conversation today. I love that.
Okay, thank you.
Liberians, especially people are seeking for position like super power grief.
Wow.
So if some of you can come down to carry also awareness to the native people.
You're not even let us see you. You're not let us see you when we come. You just say we want your job. So when we come through the another trouble, you're not want to see you.
No. You shouldn't say that.
No.
Oh, your man is sick of the people that is stable for them. That mean that nothing will go in the country.
I know. Absolutely. What we will do, we will try to have this sort of outreach to keep this sort of conversation, keep it honest, give people the opportunity to speak out. Maybe what you said tonight, you saw the other guy that called from Liberia. He said the man from Grand Basso calling here makes him to call. So that means it's the networking system. We're going to make use of Facebook. We're not going to cause people mind. We're not going to cause people power. I'm not going to talk about. I'm not going to talk about anybody shoe they're wearing. That's not my business. What I'm going to talk about is
No.
things that matters to Liberia and to the people. Thank you so much. All right.
Yeah, thank you too.
Okay. Folks, we're going to wrap it yet. Libra.
Mr. So I think this is how perhaps we should have started this conversation like this here, because I know it's late, but to be honest with you, this is very interesting. As I was saying here before this young man called in, the parallel to that of Donald Trump and with the CDC is so striking. It's so
Where you
striking.
come from with Donald Trump? Are you afraid?
Mr. So, if you let me land, you will understand. But then again, just where you are a conservative, you don't like the liberal to speak his mind. But you don't intimidate me. I'm a liberal. No CDC man or CBD sympathizer will intimidate the liberal. So please don't try it. But anyhow, that's my point here, Mr. So. Donald Trump came to the United States government and he opened it up. There were those that were on the ground. They all came up. And you're not going to force that thing back anymore. The way the government was functioning in America, meaning Americans themselves don't even know how some of these things were working. Now they know. They know who is what and what have you. It's the same thing in Liberia. CDC government have let the cat out of the bag. Liberians are now furthering the political activities of the entire country, of the entire government. So you can't pour wolf over anybody's eyes. And if CDC were to do good, they would listen to some of the conversation. They would listen to some of the conversation. But what the young man, these two people stayed here tonight. If CDC
there might just be only two voices, but millions of voices.
Yes, exactly. If CDC is not careful, this is what's going to cause their defeat. Because the people are now watching, like this guy said.
But let's make it fair too. I know we are out of time. Not just on the CDC.
I already told you. I said, Mr. Scott.
Yeah, the opposition that's trying to position herself as alternative. You hear the other man, their meeting don't end good. So there are other things people are looking at as well. So it's not just.
But the meeting don't end good. Power wrap it around CDC. They're trying to sabotage us. I say so. Samson too. They're trying to sabotage us, and it's not going to work. But anyhow, Mr. So, look, if Dr. Baka, if we believe that this thing is all wrapped up, and then just don't want to talk about, then we're mistaken, because this is far from over. This is far from over. And the guy said, well, I was laughing here when I thought about the ground track. I didn't understand it. I thought he meant there's some sort of an animal that goes underground. But what he meant was you dig a hole.
You go. You know what total again?
And that one getting ready. You dig a hole, say about 2 feet wide and a foot deep. I mean, or 2 feet long, a foot wide, and then maybe about 1.5 feet, 2 feet deep. And then you put this, but it's difficult to bend that stick, to be honest, because if you're not careful, it will knock all your teeth out. So you need two people to do that. And so if Dr. Weah is the trap you can't set with one person, then I think CDC is on a good track. But Mr. So, no, on a very serious note, I think the only way, not necessary to defeat CDC and Dr. Weah, this is something that all of us as Liberians need to gravitate towards. Make our people to understand the importance of their vote. Because if we do that,
you don't understand. You think you must just sit down there and be cussing and get 50 this and that. People are now much smarter. They were fools yesterday, but now they are having a second thought.
The entire conversation tonight.
If you don't make wise of your voice to keep authentic conversation, and you think you're going to sit down here, we'll do this, you freaking lie and fooling yourself.
You're fooling yourself.
We gotta leave it here. So the opposition is not just only the government. The opposition, you guys are disorganized. You don't have no good sense of direction.
Mr. So we don't need your commentary, Mr. So we don't need your commentary. CPP don't need your commentary. We don't need your commentary.
You want to leave my country,
Mr. So we will leave your country and we'll do better than the people that are there now. We don't need your commentary. We're doing good for ourselves.
You heard a young man say we have heard those things before and they have not done anything. and you guys are unable to hold one of your own.
We're holding together. We're not going to split.
Like babies, they are acting like a toddlers around here.
No, nobody is acting like a toddler. We're not going to split. We're not going to split.
All right. I'm not wishing for that. I don't want to split. I'm not a guy who in favor of split, but I want high sense of responsibility and conversation with civility. The Liberal Progressive, thank you. Thank you so much. By God's willing, same time this week, we're going to be back here with more fascinating conversations. And to our followers, especially the callers from Liberia, we must say a big thank you to them. People are listening, and that's what people don't know. People are listening. It's not just only about one person, two person, but people are listening. And you do not know the narrative, the conversation they're going to take away. This is why when you're on this network, your tongue, your words must be seasoned. They must be thoughtful. They must be educative. They must be informative. They must be concrete. Don't make up things. The Liberal Progressive. Thank you so much for your time. And by God's willing, same time, we're going to be back here. And to all our viewers and followers, wherever you are, we say thank you so much.
Thank you.
You never change. Hallelujah to my Jesus. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Love is all we need to make you see. This is the time to come together. Keep Liberia safe forever. So open up your heart and let the unity begin. Love is all we need.